What's up, dudes and dudettes? Welcome to Everybody Podcast. And this is a segment we like to call Everybody's TUF, where we take a look at the Ultimate Fighter, UFC's take on a reality TV show. We're looking at Season 29, dubbed The Return of the Ultimate Fighter. We're looking at Episode 4 this week. We got a bantamweight fight. We got Vincent Murdoch versus Dustin Lampros.
Pretty great fight, though.
It was a good fight.
I mean, it was short. It only lasted like 3 minutes, but it was pretty good.
It was a TKO in the first round, 2 minutes, 44 seconds in. So, yes, it was a quick fight.
It was actually, I thought it was less than that, honestly. But it was I'm surprised that Vincent Murdoch got picked last for the bantamweights on his team, considering the record he has.
Yeah, I was going to say, going into that fight, he was 12-4. So he was definitely the more experienced fighter.
16 professional fights in. And I looked up the amateur record for Lampros, and his amateur record's not very good.
What was it?
3-5, I believe, or 3-4. It was either 3-5 or 3-4, but it was a losing record. He lost more amateur bouts than he did won.
And then when he became pro,
he went 5. He went undefeated for 5 fights.
5-0.
So I mean, it's obviously he's better than his amateur record shows, but it was still like seeing that I was like, oh wow, that's kind of surprising.
Yeah,
you know?
And the guy's backstory made me feel bad for him too when he lost his fight.
Dude, when I first heard his backstory about his mother being, or it was his dad being an alcoholic and his mother being addicted to pills, I was like, did he grow up down the road? Like, are these guys from Bradford County? That's actually how I found his amateur record, because I was trying to figure out where he's from. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised this dude from the backwoods Pennsylvania.
Wasn't he from, like, Florida or something?
He moved to Florida to train in fighting.
Oh, yeah,
he's from
that's right.
Some town you'd never heard of in Illinois.
Probably like a small town or some shit.
Yeah, just like this. He basically grew up like where we are, you know?
Yep, came from where we were.
Which is pretty cool to be like from a small town like that and make it to the Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, absolutely. Fucking TV show, man. Well, in the beginning of the episode, we got some major respect shown between Ryder Newman and Trayshawn Gore. They have no hard feelings at all. They're still like bros, so that's a good thing. I'm happy for him there.
Speaking of that, like, I feel like, I don't know if I mentioned it in the last episode, but I feel like Trayshawn wanted it more. In a sense of, like, if you look at Ryder, he already owns his own business. He seems to have a lot. Not discrediting him in any way, but he seems to already have a lot.
So maybe he doesn't have that drive.
Yeah, Trayshawn, the way, at least listening to their backstories, it didn't seem like he really had anything. You know what I mean? Like, it would seem like fighting is all he has. Like, if he doesn't succeed in fighting, he probably feels like he won't succeed anywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
At least that's the way they kind of painted it on the show. Whereas Ryder Newman, he seemed like he, even if he doesn't do that well in the Ultimate Fighter, even losing, he's still going back to a pretty successful career, and he's probably going to be okay, you know?
Yeah, and he has, he probably has money and whatnot. And being in Las Vegas, a cleaning service in Las Vegas, you probably get pretty good business.
I wonder how many dead bodies he's had to clean up.
Oh, jeez, man.
I feel like that happens a lot in Las Vegas, right?
I mean, it might, dude. Cocaine and hookers. It's a weird mix.
Yeah, but it is cool seeing there's a lot of respect amongst the guys in the house this time.
Yeah, there's never any drama really. I mean, we got a little bit of drama in this episode.
That was with the coaches though.
Yeah. Well, we had Michael Chiesa show up and surprise Volkanovski's team, which was pretty neat.
Yeah.
I like Michael Chiesa a lot.
I do too. And like seeing him next to all those middleweights, it's like, how was he a lightweight?
Yeah, right.
Like, how did he make lightweight? I know he's a welterweight now, but he was still bigger than, at least as big as all those middleweights. He looked bigger than some of them.
Fucking crazy, right?
Yeah, like that dude's weight cut has to be insane.
Speaking of weight cuts, the Dustin Lampros, he didn't make weight the first time.
No, but it wasn't by a lot.
It wasn't by a lot. It said what did he say? It was under a pound.
Under a pound, he had to.
And had an hour to cut that. So
it sounded like what did Volkanovski goes? He's gonna have to go back to the toilet and drop a couple of pellets and then I think he'll be fine.
So it must have really. It was probably like what 0.2 or something, you know?
Yeah.
So it probably wasn't really that much.
But that's still, like, he's the one. I mean, they didn't show Vincent Murdoch's weight cut, but it seemed like he was really struggling with his weight cut, which might, be a part of the reason why he lost the fight,
Probably.
He might have completely drained himself.
That shit, I mean, yeah. Weight cutting will fuck you up, man. I don't get why it's even part of the sport, but they should get weight classes that are closer together, like boxing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know about as close as boxing, because I think their weight classes are like 7 pounds apart.
Yeah.
But 10 pounds apart, I think, would be aight. And then you can open up for more fighters. They already got a ton of fighters in the UFC.
Like 500 plus on their roster?
I think 600 now.
Ooh.
I don't know, but they're always adding and cutting people, so it's hard to really have a accurate measurement.
Oh, yeah. And then we got, let's see, in the middle episode, we got Trayshawn Gore making steak for everybody, invited Ortega over, and they all kind of got to know each other more or whatever.
Bonded a little bit.
Which
Volkanovski got to do that earlier on, Now it was Ortega's turn.
In a way, he did it, Volkanovski did it in this episode, too, helping that guy cut weight and staying with him all night and shit.
Yeah, that's true.
And keeping an eye on him, make sure he doesn't fucking die or something, because, weight cuts will fucking kill you.
It'll put you in the fucking hospital, at least.
Yeah, dude. So many fighters have gone to the hospital because of horrible weight cuts, like kidney failure, liver damage. Like, that shit's no joke. Seeing guys' fate on the scales, I hate seeing that.
Yeah, dude.
I feel so bad for the dudes.
Or even just, like, seeing, like, when Conor McGregor was making featherweight, and you can just see he looks like a skeleton when he steps on the scales.
Looks so sick.
And fucking Khabib, like, every time he made weight, he looked so fucking relieved, you know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Fucking remember when Dillashaw went down the flyweight, dude?
Yeah.
That's when he got suspended or whatever for EPO.
Yeah, he probably had to have the EPO. I don't know,
to keep him alive.
I don't know. It just seems like a poor career decision, like long-term career decision, Think about somebody like fucking, shit. I mean, all the heavyweights, maybe that's why all the heavyweights make it a fight until they're fucking 45.
Yeah.
Because they're not cutting weight, Who knows how much damage, long-term damage that's doing to those fighters,
Yeah.
It's probably better that Khabib cut out, like, quit when he did, because if he had to keep going through such brutal weight cuts, it probably would have destroyed his legacy,
Yeah, dude. He might have ended up in a wheelchair or something, maybe even a hospital bed.
Or fucking without a kidney.
I also wanted to talk about Vincent Murdoch's backstory a little bit, too. So, apparently, he got a call from the UFC in 2019 to go fight for him, but he had to have a fucking emergency brain scan, and he has like a disease called, what was it?
Mui. Or Maui.
Something like that, where the arteries in his brain grow really close together, and any kind of trauma could like cause a stroke or some shit. So he had to go in for like emergency brain surgery, so he wasn't allowed to fight. And they gave him like a year or something of recovery, but he took it into his own hands. And 6 months. 6 months he was back out there.
I missed that part.
Yep. 6 months he was back out there fucking training, and he picked up cycling and shit and recovered really fast, obviously, because now he's on the Ultimate Fighter.
I always feel very apprehensive about fighters saying that they're taking their injuries into their own hands, because that's what Tony Ferguson said when he tore his ACL, and we haven't really seen the same Tony Ferguson ever since. You know? He took his recovery into his own hands, and he was back after 6 months with a torn ACL, and he had one great performance, and then every other performance has just kind of gone downhill.
Yep.
And in that one great performance, his leg got lit the fuck up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Completely destroyed him.
So that always makes me feel a little bit uneasy, Did you see the scar? The kid's fucking surgery scar?
No.
Vincent Murdoch's? Dude, you could see it right on the fucking side of his head. It's like right in front of his ear. It is gnarly, dude.
Man.
Like, it looks like they literally just cut him from fucking the front of his ear up around his fucking head. It looks fucking intense, man.
Damn, dude. Oof.
It's so crazy that he can even fight after having brain surgery.
Yeah, right? Yeah, man, he's got, like, I don't think I would be able to, dude.
I mean, there was a fighter in Bellator who was the Bellator champion who had to get, I don't think he had surgery. He might have, but he had something similar with his arteries in his brain. I looked it up. I couldn't pronounce what it was called, but I don't think it was the same thing that this Vincent Murdoch dude had. But he had to give up the fucking championship. He had to give up the belt. He couldn't.
Shit.
I don't think he's been cleared to fight. They won't let him fight.
That's got to be the hardest thing, to give up your championship like that.
Yeah, and well, I mean, he keeps saying he's gonna come back, but it doesn't seem like anybody wants him to fight just because of this brain issue.
Yeah, me personally, dude, I wouldn't come back because I feel like I'd be too scared. Like, I don't want to die.
I mean, even if I was the promoter too, if I was, Scott Coker or Dana White, I would be like, I don't know if I want you in here, even if you're one of the best in the world. Like, what if you fucking die? In the octagon.
Yeah.
Then that makes me look bad. They've made it this far without somebody dying in the UFC, so I think they'd want to keep avoiding that. It happens in other sports. Fucking a couple years ago, a boxer died from trauma he sustained in a fight.
Oh shit!
Do you remember hearing about that?
I don't.
It was probably 2018 or 2019.
Oh, not that long ago.
Yeah, and he still wanted to fight. Like, he didn't get knocked out. He was still like there, but he was getting like pieced up, just taking a lot of shots.
Yeah.
And when he went back after, I don't know, I can't tell you what round it is, probably 5 or 6. His coach, the video went kind of viral. The coach just like pleading with it, like, just not really pleading with him, but just telling him, like, I'm not sending you back out there. You're taking way too many shots. We're throwing in the towel. And
he said no, fuck that.
Well, he kept saying no, but the coach kept saying no. We're throwing in the towel. That's it. And he stopped the fight, and they took him straight to the hospital. And I'm pretty sure they had to put him in a medically induced coma, and he never came out of it.
Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah. So it was like the coach stopped the fight early, but it was already too late. He already took too many shots.
That's awful, dude.
Yeah.
I feel that's. Ugh.
And like I said, I don't think Dana White wants something like that to happen in the UFC while he's still a president.
None of them want to deal with that kind of shit, dude.
Yeah.
None of them. But all right, the tail of the tape for our fight. I wrote that down. The pros is 27. Murdoch is 30. The pros height 5 foot 7 inches. Murdoch 5'6". Both of them came in at 136. Obviously, mentioned earlier, the pros had a hard time or missed weight, little less than a pound. They gave him an hour. Obviously, he cut it. He got 136. And the pros had the reach advantage, 69.5 inches versus Murdoch with 64.5 inches.
That's a wild reach advantage considering they were the same height, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think they were
basically the pros is 5'7", Murdoch 5'6".
So an inch apart, but like a 4-inch reach advantage.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Fucking crazy, dude. Obviously, Murdoch won first round TKO. He's the fighter I chose to win the fight. I didn't choose first round though. I said decision, but it ended in the first round, so that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't really make a pick, honestly. I just fucking just watched it. But I mean, I liked seeing him win because he seems like a really good striker. So he seems like he's going to be really fun to watch in the future. Yeah. He's somebody who I'm definitely looking forward to seeing his fights.
Yeah.
And I could say the same thing about Dustin too. He was fun to watch.
Yeah,
they went back and forth in that round.
Yeah,
it wasn't one-sided at all.
He's definitely a scrapper, dude. But this puts Team Ortega 4-0 now. And near the end of the episode is when we got a little bit of drama. Volkanovski obviously is kind of irritated now. He's lost 4 in a row. And, Ortega usually strolls into practice late. And Volkanovski called him out on it now. And Ortega is just being calm and cool. And you can tell Volkanovski is a little, pissed off.
He wouldn't even look at him.
Yeah, dude.
He was just staring straight forward the whole time. Wouldn't even look at him. And fucking Ortega's looking side-eyeing him and shit.
And then one of Ortega's assistant coaches said something about maybe your guys would win or whatever. And then Chiesa's like, hey,
What did he say?
Basically,
Keep it
up.
classy.
Yeah, keep it classy.
You're not showing any class or
he
something.
He said, let the coaches have their fun.
Yeah.
And you stay out of it.
Well, I thought it was funny because if the way that they framed it, like it looks like Chiesa kind of like pops out from behind the other fighters and is
out
like,
of nowhere.
Hey, you shut your mouth. And then he just kind of slips back behind them.
Yeah, dude. He said his piece and then he was done. But that was the end of the episode. We got our next fight, but I'm not going to mention the next fight until the next episode. So, But I'm going to rate this episode. I'm going to give it. We got a special. Michael Chiesa being in the episode brings it up a little bit for me. I'm going to say 3.5 out of 5.
I'll say 3.5 out of 5 too. That's what I was gonna say too.
So it's definitely
getting better.
I was gonna say it's definitely getting better episode by episode.
Well, okay, you know what I realized this episode when they were showing Murdoch talking to his girlfriend. She's like, "I'll see you in 6 weeks." So they're definitely not doing a fight a week. They're doing more than one fight a week. They have to be because there's already been 4 fights, and there's got to be. I think there's still 4 more fights before they even get to the semifinals. So I feel like they've been doing 2 a week, and that's probably why the first few episodes were kind of boring because they didn't have a whole lot of footage at that point. You know what I mean? I feel like at the point we're in right now in episode 4, I feel like these guys have only known each other for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. For real. Like if it's really only a 6, they're only supposed to be there for 6 weeks.
That's a good observation, dude. That's a good observation. I would have never even fucking caught that.
Yeah, because there's got to be, I think that's 12 fights altogether before you get to the finals. So that means 2 fights a week until you get to the finals.
Oh, fuck. That's hilarious. Yeah. All right. This has been Everybody's Tough. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.